We're learning the Sikha in Chelik Tes Pashas Nitzavim. In this Sikha, the Rebbe discusses to what extent the Shechina is with Yidden in Golus. There's the famous statement of Reb Shimon Beichoi that Golus Yisrael Shegolus Shechina Iman. And the Rebbe will also explain what it means in the pasuk when it says V'shava vay lekecha shavuscha. This is the first pasuk that the Rambam brings as the mocker from Mashiach and Torah. That V'shava vay lekecha shavuscha means that the Eibishter returns with the Yidden out of Golus. So first we need to understand what's the pshat that Eibishter is with Yidden in Golus. To what extent is the Eibishter with us here in Golus? B'chlal, I mean, the kasha is Malay Chalad, it's Kvaydai. The Eibishter is everywhere. What does it mean that he's with us in Golus? And then we'll understand what it means that the Geula is Beit Kazeh, that the Eibishter returns with us. Now there's a second pshat that Rashi here brings when it says V'shava vay lekecha shvuscha, that what this means is that Kaviyachol, the Eibishter's V'atem to look to le'echad echad, the Eibishter grabs hold of every individual Yid, wherever in the world he may be stuck in Golus, four corners of the world. The Eibishter personally comes and picks up every individual Yid and takes him out of Golus. That's the second pshat in Rashi. So we're learning here, we're on page 177, 2 pages into the Sikha. 177. We're holding by the second question that Rebbe asks on this pshat of Rashi. When Rashi brings this pshat, that the Eibishter holds on to every individual Yid, Rashi brings that you find similar by a Golos that wasn't even by Yidden. You find similar B'negeya to a Golos that there was by... what did we have before over here? A Golus of B'nai Amoin. When B'nai Amoin were exiled from their country, so the Eibishter returned them, and there you see in the Lashon of the pasuk V'shafti as Shavos B'nai Amoin. Eibishter says, I will personally return each one of them to their place. It's a big pella. How are you comparing from a Goyim when they're exiled to Yidden, the whole Chiddush of the Yar, the Eibishter loves Yidden and returns each one of them? Why is B'chlal Rashi bringing this raya from B'nai Amoin? What's the point there? Let's see inside. Based, the second kasha on page 177. In pasuk da Retzach wegen der Gul von Yidden. The pasuk is discussing how Yidden will be redeemed. Was is Rashi Messiah va'af begolius shar umas mitziniken? So why is Rashi bringing that? You find this by Goyim as well. What's the relevance of that? Adrabah, we're trying to point out what's unique b'negeya to Yidden. Gimel, the kasha is noch starker. The question here about the fact that Rashi brings up Goyim is even stronger. B'chdei zu bringen a Reihe, as der Eibishter wird herausnehmen von Golus, jedrim Bazunder. If Rashi wants to prove that all Yidden will be taken out personally and individually, is genug, when Rashi is bringing die Werte, warten to look to lechad echad. Rashi brings the Lashon, it's a pasuk in Yeshaya, warten to look to lechad echad. On them seeing from the Werte B'nai Yisrael, it's not even necessary for Rashi to add the words B'nai Yisrael. Is doch davon kennt ich, as will damit madgish sein, as das, was euch is biyadav mamish ish bim mekayim, hat shaykh is euch zu B'nai Yisrael. Rashi is adding the word B'nai Yisrael, because Rashi wants you to understand. The fact that the Eibishter takes every individual Yid out of Golus, it's not something that should be said and is true the way the Eibishter behaves in any kind of Golus, whether Yidden or Goyim. No, it's dafke b'negei to B'nai Yisrael. I'm skipping the brackets for now. Let's go weiter. Es hein wie sagt Rashi gleich nach dem va'av begolius shar umis mitzinu kein. Rashi continues and says that we find this the same by the Golus of Goyim as well. What's the point of this? Dalet, was is da negei the ganze ariches of the mail up and bringen reis von the V'im v'chulu. Why is Rashi getting into this whole ariches? Rashi says that the Koishi, the Eibishter himself, has to grab hold of every single Yid, no matter where he is, and Rashi brings rayas. Why can't Rashi just say the point, the kitzur? Simple. That the Eibishter will personally redeem every Yid from wherever he is. Hey, another diak here in the Lashon of Rashi is, was meint Rashi meisav sein mit Zagen mamish? Rashi says that the Eibishter is oichiz biyadav mamish. He literally holds on to every Yid and takes him out of Golus. Nit biyadav stam v'yazak b'pirushay b'fashas v'aschana. The same point Rashi says already in v'aschana. What does this mean, mamish? What's the difference if you say Hashem is literally grabbing every single Yid, or you say he's grabbing every Yid without the word mamish? Okay, so the Rebbe is going to show us a tremendous depth here in the words of Rashi to understand what it means that David is with Yidden and Golus, and then to see and understand what Geula means. Was the Pshat Eibishter redeems Yidden, and to what extent the Eibishter redeems every individual Yid. Siv Gimel. Be'ir b'chol anal, to explain all of this, that verstehen behektim. So here the Rebbe will lay out a few different levels and what it means that the Eibishter is with Yidden. So first of all, this we gefind by Yedren from the Ovis. The fact that the Eibishter is there with Yidden, so this is something that begins already in Torah. You find it by the Ovis. As the Eibishter is mit dem Gewen. You find by each one of the Ovis, how the Torah tells you the story of their life. You see that the Eibishter was with them wherever they were. Was the beer from them the Pashtus is. So what does it mean when we say that the Eibishter is together with the Ovis wherever they are? In Hara 22, the Rebbe is mitzayin to the places in Chumash, we see Vayera, Teldus, and Vayetze regarding Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, where it says that the Eibishter is with them. What does it mean that the Eibishter is with them? How does that? What does it practically mean? Hayes, v'dan hagesh shalamayla mit the Ovis is given and a neifin lamayla mateva. What's unique here is that the Eibishter behaves with the Ovis in a manner where things are happening in their life which is out of nature. Biz as alle haben gesehen, as Atzlacha kommt from Eibishter. It was clear for everyone to see that the unusual success they had is from the Eibishter. The Rebbe is the pasuk madgish as the Eibishter is given mitzay. That's what the pasuk here is saying, that the Eibishter is with them. What does this really mean? And here the Rebbe puts in the parentheses really the fundamental question about this entire idea. Hagam, is da umetum. The Eibishter is all over. Bashamayim imal, baloretz mitochas. Kumashikosav is a shamayim v'soretz ani mole. So what does it mean that the Eibishter is with the Ovis? He's everywhere. What this means is, as mitzay is a given begilui, und bashitzay is a matzliach and a zevaiter. Of course Hashem is everywhere. But how is he everywhere? In a lavush. The Eibishter is concealed through teva. And everything that happens is confined and limited to the laws and the system of nature. When it comes to the Ovis, though, the Eibishter is there with the Ovis and provides for them out of nature. B'yan teva. The Gilu, the Eibishter is there with them. That's what you find already beneged to the Ovis. Even before you come to Yidden being in Golus from the Ovis, and the same is true with every Yid, no matter where he is. A Yid be'etzem is never under the laws of nature. That's one of the things that's unique about Yidden, that Teva is not Teufus Mokim, has no place b'chlal in the life of a Yid. So if this is the case, so this applies also regarding Yidden in Golus time. On page 178. Mitzadem was alezen. When you look at the matziv of Yidden in the time of Golus, and we can clearly see, and we see how the Eibishter gives special attention and takes care of Klal Yisrael. The famous lashon that it says in the Medrash regarding the story of Purim, Kifsa achas ben shivim ze'evim v'yimish tameres. Yidden are like one lamb being attacked by 70 wolves, and they're still protected. So we can see that it's not only that Yidden are protected throughout all kinds of persecution, we can see how it's mamish l'mayla min ateva. Naturally, it makes no sense that Klal Yisrael still exists today. So this it demonstrates, you can clearly see the very existence of Klal Yisrael today demonstrates the fact that the Eibishter is with us, l'mayla min ateva. Wie man schon gelernt früher bei Golus Mitzrayim, and this is something you see already in the Chumash Beneged Mitzrayim. The erste und sheirish von alle Goli is the first and the source of all the following exiles, where the pasuk says, "V'hoya elikim imachem," that the Eibishter is with you. Already in Golus Mitzrayim, the fact that Yidden survived the Kaishi Ashibud, B'chaymer, B'levenim, and everything that went on in Mitzrayim, and all the assimilation and the Avodah Zarah, is only because the Eibishter was with them. Ubedugma to them is euch das was kashenig alin shchina imam. When Yidden are redeemed, so the shchina is with them. What does it mean that the shchina is with them? What it means is that the Eibishter never leaves Klal Yisrael. The Eibishter never leaves us alone. Wherever we are, even though b'chitzaynius, it seems like that the Eibishter chas v'shalom left us, and we're in teva, and there's persecution, and there's all kinds of halamas v'asteirim, but alibid the emes, through everything, the Eibishter is there with us. He's protecting us. That's the first point about the Eibishter being with us in Golus. And really, it doesn't begin just in Golus. It begins by the Ovis, This is the mitzvah of a yid b'chlal, no matter where he is, that he's lamayla mateva. Umimele, it applies to Golus as well. But this is not unique about Golus. Now, es ist verstandig. Now, coming back here to this pasuk where it says, "V'shav Hashem Elokechas shvuscha." So now this point that we just explained, it's understood as that Inyan keret haben kein shayches, a shayches zum teichen a pasuk v'shav avay Elokechas shvuscha, und nit amcha v'chayetze b'zeh. What does it say here in the pasuk? Is that the Eibishter returns the returnees. I think it's a translation of shvuscha. The Yidden that are returning, Hashem is returning those Yidden that are returning. It doesn't say in the pasuk Hashem returns His nation. He returns those that are returning. Der Lashon. This expression the pasuk says here, as the Eibishter v'shav es shvuschem mit dein shvus umkehren von Galus, that Hashem returns you with your returning from Galus. What does this expression indicate? As far der Gole, that before the Eibishter redeems Yidden, is there bagrenitz kaviyachol in the arts of Sagayim. That it's not only that the Eibishter is here in Galus, but it's using the term of Vishav. Vishav means the Eibishter returns. And what does it mean the Eibishter returns? Es shuvoscha, together with and in the same way, on the same level as the Yidden that return. How are Yidden returning from Galus? Yidden are returning from an experience of Galus, of exile, persecution. True, as the Rebbe just mentioned, the Eibishter protects Yidden, Lamayla Manateva, and ultimately the Yidden are going to be saved. But nevertheless, Yidden are in a Galus, and Yidden are experiencing all the pain of Galus. When the pasuk says Vishav, and it says Shavuscha, you have to compare the Vishav that it says on the Eibishter to the Lashon Shvuscha that it says Benegei to Yidden, because that's the whole point there. S, together with, that the Eibishter is compared to Yidden. So just like when Yidden are in Golos, the Yidden are in a Golos. So the fact that the Eibishter is with Yidden in Golos, it means that the Eibishter is also in Golos with them. Meaning that not only the Eibishter is here protecting them, but the Eibishter Kaviyachol experiences the limitations and the pain of Golos just like the Yidden do. Und b'meile vervogelt und vertrieben Kaviyachol von sein Heim. Just like Yidden are vervogelt. No idea how to translate that word in English. Huh? You know what vervogelt means. Yeah. Huh? No. Doesn't mean exiled. It's much more than that. Vertrieben means exiled. Vervogelt means when someone is completely
lost in the forest.
Like totally lost and totally. Yeah. Okay. So just like Benegei to Yidden, the Yidden are completely lost and exiled. So the same applies Kaviyachol to the Eibishter. But the question though is, der in was gefindt sich mit Yidden in Galus zu Eisiten Seif von die Shivim Seivim, meint doch gar verkehrt. But the point though that we said is the exact opposite. The fact that the Eibishter never forsakes Klal Yisrael and he's with us, protecting us from the 70 wolves, the point over here is not the fact that Hashem is limited in the Galus and he's returning from a Galus together with the Yidden. Adarabah. The point that we see from the Avos is that the Eibishter is Lamayla Manateva, and the Eibishter is together with Yidden protecting them. Not that he's limited in the Galus. Gefindt sich dort, auf sie Reis zu helfen. Und allein ist nicht in Galus. For him to be able to save us, he has to be above Teva. If he's in Teva, then he can't save us. The Rebbe sagt Rashi. So therefore, Rashi here says something else, that this pasuk is teaching us a different point. As though meint men anan derinyen. Here it's saying a different point. Shashchine shruya im Yisrael betzaras galusam. Rashi adds the word that not only Hashem is with us in Galus, then you would think it refers to what it says Benegei to the Avos and B'chlal Klal Yisrael, that the Eibishter is with Yidden and protects them l'maylam and ateva. Instead, what does it say? That the Eibishter experiences the pain of Yidden. It is takakaviyachol in der Engschaft von Galus. Kaviyachol, the Eibishter is within this pain and suffering of Galus and Yidden's experience. And therefore, when it says es shavuscha, what it's saying is, just like Yidden are returning from pain and persecution, the Eibishter Kaviyachol experiences the same pain and persecution as well, and he's returning from that pain of Galus. That's the Chiddush that Rashi is telling us here. Okay, that's one point. We'll see in Sif Dalet and Mitzvah Shem next week. We'll see the next point about this. Huh? Or what? He is amazing.
So it's still all like that position that we speak.
Right, correct.
Even they're not in body.
Correct, absolutely.
Where's the word for chocolate?
No, vervogelt. You see it?
No.
Vervogelt. Vervogelt.
That means,
You have a translation for me? Vervogelt?
okay, but it means beyond the idea of exile.
Interesting word. I never thought like that.
It's like what it says by Cain. Novenod. Novenod. When
Novenod.
someone is like
He's never settled.
never settled, right? The opposite of settled.
It's like a gypsy type
Ah,
of person.
vervogelt.
Unsettled.
Unsettled.
Yeah, yeah.
He's
Something like that.
unsettled.